morning, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, here with my husband, Noel. Happy Monday, y'all. I did not know if I was going to actually be able to make this show, which is kind of ironic given the topic we're going to talk about today. But I am leaving you. Good morning, Graham's House Keepsakes, Greta's Garden. Hello, Trish. Good morning. So, consistency. I am, yes, exactly, Crafty Berries consistency. Um, I am leaving for Dallas in a couple of hours, but I was able to actually, my original flight, I was supposed to be on the plane right now. That's why this show wasn't scheduled until like last Friday, but I was able to push my flight back to this afternoon. Hey, Shop Happy. Hello. So I was able to push my flight back to this afternoon. So I will be able to do this one. Now it's going to be tricky. Tonight we have the second week of the CEO Showcase, CEO Challenge Showcase. Good morning, like Erie Southern Charm. And I'm going to be pushing it. My plane lands at 5:15 Eastern, 4:15 Central. So 5:15 Eastern, I'm scheduled to go on Heart to Haven. That's actually a setting that you turn on your side. So if you go into your settings, you can turn that on your side. It's not something I control for the show. But thank you for asking. So my flight lands at 5:15 Eastern time, and my show is scheduled for 5:50. I am cutting it close tonight. I'm only doing 10 minutes. I'm introducing the CEO Showcase tonight. So if I can't do it, Noel will step in. He doesn't know that yet, but I'm leaving him really good notes. Good morning, the Glass Granny. But speaking of the CEO Challenge, you guys, if you did not catch it in week 1, you have a chance tonight to catch week 2. It is a whole new challenge. We'll talk about what the challenge was tonight. But they've been working on it all week. Tonight, they're going to sell and talk a bit. So it's 20-minute slots, and you'll get to see them in action, all of our participants. We have 8 participants. If any of you 8 are here, go ahead and throw something in the chat. Or you guys can always go and look at the show notes. We do have them listed there throughout the month. So that's what's going on tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Really excited because last week we talked about a few pointers at the end of the show. I Love Discounts and I co-host with each other. Good morning, Josie. There's one of our participants right there. Reclaim Vintage. Good morning. And so we co-host I Love Discounts, and we talk about, hey, where are some areas of improvement? One of the things that we picked up on last week were logos and like the little icons. And I am so happy to say that so many people changed theirs. And I was just really happy to see that. And then not only that, I found out last night through I Love Discounts, who I think heard it from Forgotten Memories, that a lot of people in Watering the Seeds were listening. And there was just kind of this widespread swoop of people updating their logos because of what we talked about last week in the CEO Challenge. So I was really kind of happy to hear that we're having that kind of effect. So I can't wait to see tonight and just kind of see what comes of it. What do we talk about? What are our pointers tonight? What comes out really great? And where are some areas that we're going to be working on for the next week as a group? So that is tonight, 5:50. Don't miss it. Hopefully my plane will land on time. I'll be able to get off of it. I may be doing it from the airport somewhere. Who knows? It all just depends on how it's going when I get there. If you guys have joined, you should have seen a free shipping. Did you guys all see a free shipping banner when you came in? Yes, no free shipping. Did you see that? Yes, thank you. So I have been, thank you so much, Glass Granny. Thank you for sharing the show too. I appreciate that. I have been trying to move to free shipping on Tuesdays. I think I've done it 1 week already, maybe 2. I just started going back to free shipping on Tuesdays, and it is working really well. However, good morning, Eve Jack P. Since I am going to Dallas, I learned my lesson last time I was out of town that doing a full selling show while I'm out of town doesn't work too good. We could do it. Thank you so much. We can do it, but it's not as profitable for me to say. It's not the best business decision. I am coming to Dallas today. I am leaving this afternoon. I'll be there till Friday. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's a work trip, so I'm like have no time for social activities. It's basically get up by 7 in the morning. You're down for breakfast. I'll do this show. Sometimes I'm a little late because I do the show, but till about 8 or 9 every single night. Anyways, we are not doing this show. All of that to say, yes, my love. Okay. All of that to say that there's no show tomorrow. All of that to say, I'm not doing a show tomorrow. So we're doing free shipping today because I want to keep up the free shipping at least once a week. I think that part of the consistency is important. Good morning. I love discounts. So we are doing free shipping today. We've got some stuff behind me. We're going to be doing some random pulls throughout the show, just kind of here and there. We'll grab a couple of items and sell them, and then we'll get back to talking. But everything today is free shipping. So enjoy that, and we'll see how that goes. I've been reporting every week how the free shipping is going for me, what the numbers look like, because I want to be really transparent. Swan and Thistle, good morning. There is another one of our CEO participants right there, Swan and Thistle. Did you do free shipping last night, Josie? Wonderful. DM me. I would love to hear your results on that. You don't have to tell me all your financial stuff, but I would love to hear kind of like maybe how that worked out for you. Rain expected all week. Oh, that's awful. Where am I? Where are we at in Dallas? I don't know. I will try to DM you though, and if you're anywhere close, maybe if you have a chance to come, we can grab coffee at the hotel. I will try to DM you. Let me put Eve Jack Peace. I've got to look at my itinerary. My work books everything for me, so I don't always know exactly where I go. I know that sounds bad, but I kind of just show up and do what I'm told. So, okay. So no show tomorrow. We will be back on Wednesday. We will be back on Friday for a normal show, and then Saturday is our glowy glass show. So if you like any glass that glows, Saturday is our big glowy glass show, and it's going to be a little different for me. Not for you guys. The experience is going to be the same for you. It's going to be different for me because since I don't get in until late Friday night, and my show is at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, I'm going to let Noelle pick out everything we run for the show. Everything. I'm like, here's all our glowy glass. Go get this many number of pieces and get it set up for us. So he's taking on a whole new role this week with the show on Saturday. So I have no idea what he's going to pick. I know Southern Charm. I'm like, good morning, Kaya. I know, go for the gusto. He's probably going to get me all this stuff that I don't want to ship. Patty, what's glowy glass? Oh my goodness, let me show you. We have the perfect opportunity. Let me show you this one here. So first of all, let's take a look at this. I need a riser. Let's take a look at this beautiful piece. Look at this vase. So this is purple, gorgeous purple vase. Look at that cut with that ruffle top in there. Just to look at it, you're like, wow, I love it. It's beautiful. Good morning to Aaron Sphere. It is 8.5 inches tall. So you look at it and you're like, oh, I love it. Look at beautiful. The purple is gorgeous. But this one packs a punch. Let me show you. See if we can get over there. I threw it in the glow box and let me put the light on it. It has a nice green hue to it when you get it under those lights. That is glowy glass. So glowy glass, we're going to run this one and I'll keep talking about it. If you guys like this one, it is going to be up for bids, $1 start. Free shipping today, and that is running right now if you're interested in it. So your glowy glass has a couple different components. It can either have manganese, uranium, cadmium, and there's another one that I forget the name of it. There's another glowy glass element that I just don't remember what it's called. And somehow he's having troubles with our cameras. But Coastal got that. Thank you so much, Coastal.
Thank you.
So when we do thank you, Josie, Selenium, and Franklin Hidden Treasures. Thank you so much. This is, see this, manganese, yep. So, and each one does something a little bit different as far as how it affects the glass. I'm not a scientist. I don't know all of it, just a little bits and pieces of what I've read. And uranium, of course, is our most popular glowy glass. I really am not a fan. I don't like it because everybody expects the glow. It's just kind of common. It's like you go to Disneyland, you expect to see, how old is that piece? I have absolutely no idea. I do know it's vintage, but I don't know how, like exactly where. It's kind of like uranium's kind of like Mickey Mouse. You go to Disneyland, you expect to see Mickey Mouse. That's what I think about uranium. Yeah, it's cool, but you know what you're getting. I love clear glass or blue glass that glows because some of those surprise you. You don't expect it. You need a 365 to see Anything other than uranium, though. Correct, I think. 365, 395. My husband's like, yep. Again, he just hands me the flashlight, and I'm like, let's go for it. All right, he's yelling at me to move. I can't move, honey. It's stuck on the rug. All right. Blue is your favorite glower. See, do you like the purple glow? I think the purple glow is cool, but purple to me always looks swampy. It's that murky, swampy glow. I'm kind of an Amberina glow person. Probably if I had to pick my favorite, I would have to go with Amberina because it's like this hidden, just soft, discreet glow. It's kind of that classy glow. So I'd rather, there you go. Green glass is money, but yellow is gold. Love that. So that's good. That was a whole big old long answer to answer your question. So uranium can be seen in other colors, not just Vaseline glass. I mean, uranium's just an element, so I guess it could be put in any other ones. I just never have heard uranium glass referred to if it's like EAPG clear glass. Like, I wouldn't call that uranium glass. So, anyways, moving on. PA meetup. If you got your ticket, if you are coming, throw something in the chat. We have over 30 people at this point coming. We have space for up to about 100. So it is our PA meetup, October 3rd. There you go. There you look at Michelle's coming. I know Southern Charms coming. Forgotten Memories is going to be there. We got quite a few people. It is October 3rd in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is going to be, it is not that far, see? And heck, even if you're in Alaska, you could travel if you really wanted to. So 9 to 3, the morning is going to be general sessions, breakout groups. So a little bit of educational component, a little bit of like, let's get something out of this, and an afternoon of networking. So you're going to get the best of both worlds. You're going to get a little bit of some education there, or at least a chance to network, hearing those best tips and practices from other sellers. I'm going to be speaking. Green 13, Jeremy of Green 13 is going to be speaking. I Love Discounts is going to be speaking, and Dragonfly Neen will be speaking. So on my website is there. You can buy tickets there. You can buy tickets from the bin. They are in my buy now right now. They are $28 a piece. That $28 gets you your ticket to get in. It's right here. He's hollering at me. They look like this. You're going to actually get a physical ticket in the mail. So you're going to get breakfast, continental breakfast. You will get a lunch. We are looking at catered lunches right now, so we're getting prices to get that information. And that's what you get. And you get a whole day full of meeting other sellers, open to buyers and sellers. And let me address this. I've just got to say, because there was some talk, just saying, I'm not going to name names, that if you do a meetup, that you shouldn't be doing a meetup for buyers and sellers. I think it's important. We rely on our buyers. We are looking at doing a buyers panel during the general session where we can actually hear what the buyers think, what they want, how they view things. This is important as sellers. We must consider our buyers in what we're doing. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones keeping us in business. It is important. Now, can you have just a seller meetup? Thank you, my love. You can. We wanted it to be different. So, I Love Discounts. It's going to be your 10th meetup this year. Many of them have buyers and sellers. There you go. I think both are important. Now, it is also open to any other platform. So we have local people here in Pennsylvania that sell on District, that also sell on Whatnot. They are welcome to come. While we are mainly focused on Whatnot, it is not a Whatnot sponsored event. It is a bunch of us got together and decided to do a meetup event. So people will not have booths. I would love to do that. We actually talked about that, but we are holding this in an old firehouse, and the booth space would be very, very limited. And then I would have to pick and choose who gets a booth and who doesn't. And I did not want to make those decisions because I don't think there would be any fair way to do that. I even talked about like us, like those of us who are speaking, and I'm like, that just doesn't look good. That looks like we're favoritism. So I decided to no on that one. Maybe next year, possibly. Look, if we get a full house this year, maybe we can go to a bigger space next year. Many of you, I've been talking about this for months as we've been going through the planning process, and many of you have already kind of heard some of these details, but they're not cheap. It is hard to find a space that will hold 100 people. That it's your first meetup. Oh, I'm forgotten memories. I'm so happy you're going to be there. Um, it is hard to find a space that will hold 100, 125 people and to have breakouts. It was important to me. I'm not going to have people travel in to sit around and chit chat for 7 hours. We could chit chat here. Just to meet to chit chat with each other, to me, wasn't enough. I wanted to add more value to it. So I wanted the breakout rooms. I love networking. That's how I run my business. I'm excited. The networking is important. I don't see 7 hours of networking. I just wasn't where I was. And since I'm the one organizing it, I was like, we're going to do more than that. So the breakouts were important to me. So finding a space, the first like 4 or 5 quotes that I got were anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. That's a lot of money, particularly a lot of money when I have to write the check to begin with. So I finally found a place that was very, very affordable. So looking at that a little bit of that cost is built into those tickets, because I would rather ask people for money so they can eat and they feel like they're getting a value from that. I mean, they're getting fed versus like, hey, yeah, we got this really cool place and I need you to give me $50 for a ticket because the place is cool. I didn't want that. So to find one was difficult. Now we're looking at food vendors. We got a couple. I think that's going to be the easy part. And then we're going to get down to actually nailing down exactly the timeframes, the activities. We know it's 9 to 3. I've got a general flow in my head, and we'll go from there. It is a good price. It is. Now, is this going to be 5-star Michelin food? No, we're looking at like, a Mission Barbecue catered by Mission Barbecue or something along those lines. You're going to have like a nice buffet catered type lunch. It's still decent. Yeah, the price isn't bad at all. So just have Noel cook. I would love for that. It's a firehouse, so it comes with a full kitchen, but he's going to be busy doing all the tech stuff that day. So I couldn't ask him to do that, but I would love to have you guys there. If you have tickets, spread the word, tell your friends, bring some people along. 13 and over needs a ticket. Good morning, Crafting with Chris. 13 and over has to have a ticket. Under 13 is free. They just need to make sure your kids are hanging out with you and not running around. So honestly, like if you need to bring kids, I get it. I mean, I have 4 kids of my own. They're grown up, but I understand how it is. Just make sure that you bring them some coloring books or whatever to keep them occupied. That's all. But I don't have to say that. You guys know how to do that. So that's all like the update stuff. If I was closer, you just got to travel. See, it's also tax deductible. Keep that in mind. It is a business trip. It is tax deductible for you guys. It's always a good little extra, not a reason to make a decision, but it's always a good little extra. Be sure to have gluten-free food. I say because we're allergy and it ruins events for us. We actually, Patty, when you buy a ticket, so once you purchase it, you get a ticket and you get 3 pages of information. On one of those, we actually thought about this. I run conferences in real life, so hopefully I covered a lot of it. We have a food and allergy section down here where it says, let me know if you have specific food or allergy requests, and we will do everything we can to accommodate it. I can't guarantee it's going to be perfect, but we will do everything that we can. So that's actually included in the information that you get. So, I know game system. So anyways, hopefully it's going to be good. Again, I do run events. I don't want to pump this up to be like somebody expecting something it's not. But I am taking the experience I have of running very large conferences for hundreds and hundreds of people and applying it to a little bit of a smaller scale. We will have some type of like introductory game that is created for introverts and extroverts, because I hate nothing more than going to like a networking function. And I've been on here going on 3 years. December will be 3 years. I hate nothing more than going to a networking thing and they're like, okay, everybody go meet a stranger and shake hands and tell them 5 weird facts about yourself. That just like shoots lightning bolts of anxiety through me. So that's not the type of games that we will be doing. We will be doing some type of get to know you game, but it will be one that is comfortable for introverts as well as the extroverts. And that's mainly just because I'm an introvert in those situations. So who caught the reselling roundtable last night? Who ended up seeing the reselling roundtable? I know we had a good crowd. I love discounts. Of course, you were there. So if you do not know what the reselling roundtable is, Crafty Fairies, I'm so glad you were there. You got part of it. Marjorie Gems, I saw your name in the chat last night. The Secret Grotto did. It is the Reselling Roundtable is a podcast that we do every Sunday night at 6:30. There it is. It is on YouTube. It is Zoe's Treasures, I Love Discounts, and Green 13. We come together and we talk all things reselling. We are on, oh my goodness, episode 25 was last night. And all different kinds of topics. Last night was how to get them and how to keep them. It sounds like some really good Western movie right there. Did you start? Oh, thank you so much. We hope that it's helpful. If you can't make it on a Sunday night, you can always go see it. It is on YouTube. We're on Apple and Spotify. But I usually do a recap on Mondays. I don't give you everything we talk about. You still got to go there to see all the meat and potatoes. But we talk a little bit about, and I kind of go more into my notes and my point of view on Monday mornings. You were in your show. Well, that's a good reason. To be in your show is a good reason to miss ours. I gotta go with that. I can't argue with you on that one. So we talked about how to get them, how to keep them. These are the two biggest questions that if you have done any type of chat show, if you have been in a chat show, probably the two most asked questions on Whatnot. If you're on Facebook, you probably see these questions at least once a day. How do I get people in my room? How do I keep them in my room? So we kind of, it was a good conversation because we agreed on a lot, but we had a lot of good points, and we did, last night's conversation went on a lot of different bunny trails. So we're going to try to stay focused on those questions today. I think it comes down to four main principles. I only said three last night, but I have four. The reason I have four is I am going to be releasing a book soon. These are the four cornerstones of my book that the whole book is built around. So they kind of play into what I talk about. Mel and Stella cards, yes. So I have actually written the whole first draft. We are in the editing stage right now. We are going through and making edits, adding in little bits and pieces here and there. But I hope to release it by October. My goal, it was January, but I'm ahead of schedule. So I hope it's going to be released by October. It is called Build a Business, Not Just the Show. The Glass Granny. So the Glass Granny, and you don't have to hide that. That's okay. The Glass Granny is asking a shipping question. I do not know if there's a video, but what I suggest you do, the Glass Granny, I Love Discounts, say something in the chat. Go find I Love Discounts. They do a shipping show at 5 o'clock tonight, and they will answer that question. They will even bring it up on the screen for you and show you how to do it if they can, if they have an order that they can show you how to do that. There you go. Ship happens. Tonight, 5 o'clock. So that was a shipping question that got red chatted to me, so I was answering that. If I'm not busy enough, I know I like to stay busy, but anyway, so the book is called Build a Business, Not Just the Show. It's kind of sums up my whole point of view, my theories, the things I talk about in these shows and on Fridays. But there's four cornerstones to that: commitment, consistency, discipline, and integrity. And those four words alone, and you've heard me say it. Good morning, Swamp Chick. You've heard me say these words before. Those four words right there is what's going to make or break you on Whatnot. Those four words answer just about every single question you can ask on Whatnot. Good morning, Lori. Now, is it going to answer how do I do my shipping? No, it's not going to answer those technical questions. But all of these, how do I get people in the room? How do I keep them? How do I make more money? How do I become successful on Whatnot? How do I run a business? All of those questions are answered in those four words. So I thought we would dig into some of those today. And I would love your thoughts, your opinions, your questions as we kind of go through some of it. A lot of it boils down to things that we've heard before. T-Bubble, thank you so much. A lot of it are things that we talk about. The words commitment, consistency, discipline, and integrity. Those four words are your answer to just about anything non-technical on Whatnot. Angie, thank you so much. That's so sweet. These are also, besides being the cornerstones of what I'm writing the book around, what we talk about in the CEO Challenge. Everything we do in the CEO Challenge is built from one of those. It's built from the concept and the theory that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. write a business plan. Your version of success may not be mine. 100%. We've got a giveaway going. My husband started one of those. It is for a CEO affirmation card, a little pack there. So, and the business plan, 100%. His and her shop Chicago. Let me get the name correct. 100%. I prefer a 4-question business plan. Who you are, why are you doing this? What are you going to sell? When you're going to sell it, and how you're going to get it. Again, 4 questions. Keep it simple. I do everything in life on the keep it simple method. I think a business plan doesn't need to be a 52-page, 18-tab, typewritten thing. It doesn't have to be this formal executive summary. 4 questions. Why are you doing this? What are you going to sell? When you're going to sell it? And how are you going to get it? If you can define those things, the rest of it starts to fall into place. Then you have some boundaries. You have some guardrails to build the rest of your business around. Speaking of a profile pic, can I say I have seen so many newer ones since forgotten memories. Exactly. We were just talking about that. There has been this whole wave from the last CEO challenge of people updating their profile. A SWOT analysis. Definitely a SWOT analysis. And I love that. As a business person, I am all about that. So for those of you who don't know what SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, and threats. So it's looking at everything around you. The only reason that I don't really recommend that is I find with resellers, a lot of people come into reselling because they love to sell clothes or they love vintage decor. The majority of resellers are not business people. They don't come into it because they have a business background or they want to do the business side. They come into it because they like the reselling side of it. So I try to, besides using the term CEO all the time, I try to make it as simple as possible. But I 100% agree with you. From a business perspective, his and her Chicago shop, I am like, I think we think the same with that. You were that way, not anymore, Kimmy D. So let's talk about it. Let's talk a little bit about commitment. Commitment is to do it. How bad do you want this? Really, how bad? Do you just want it when you're feeling good or when your schedule lines up and it works out? Or do you really, really want this? I find the people who are like, I got to pay my mortgage, have a far higher commitment level than the people who are like, no, I've got a job that pays my bills. I just want to do this for fun. However, the same people who say, I have a job, I don't need this for the money, I'm just doing this for the social aspect, for the fun of it, you'll still hear those same people say, well, how do I get people in my show? How do I keep them in my show? The same principles apply to you, even if you don't think of this like a business. So the commitment is, how bad do you want this? If you just want to come on a Friday night, chill, hang out, do a show, do a chat show, maybe sell a couple of things, okay, but then don't complain that you're not making money. There's a give and take here for everything. So thank you, my love. He's writing signs. We've been talking. He's writing me a sign, CEO challenge. We've been talking about it. Is there something specific you want me to talk about? No, not right now. Thank you. So, side hustles still take work. They do. Sure, however, a person is selling on a 20% margin will not be able to support a full-time business selling vintage. Absolutely not. No, they need to have a higher margin. But I think at the very beginning, and I don't disagree with you at all. The way that I've experienced it with people is that it's a slow process. They have to go one step at a time. It's almost like baby steps coming into it. It's like if you've never known how to budget, you don't just go in being Dave Ramsey on day one. You do little pieces at a time. It's a slow process. It's a learning process to get to that point. A lot of people aren't starting making a 20% margin. If you go around, if people were honest about their average order value, we would be falling out of our chairs at how little money people are making. And I am even talking about some people with wings and some people we consider big. You would be flabbergasted at the small margins that they're operating on. And it's not like I've seen their financials. There's some of this that's evident in the way they do their business and the way that you can see them on social media, and you start putting things together. You're like, I have a pretty good idea probably what range your profit margins are in. Bingo, average ticket is the key. Yes, Sean MC, you got that giveaway.
Congratulations.
Bingo average ticket. So I don't know what bingo average ticket is. I know what averaging is. Please explain his and her Chicago shop. Bingo average. I know we look at averaging. We look at everything in averages. I don't look at anything as one singular show or one singular sale. Everything is averaged across the board because I'll have items, and we all do, that are huge money makers and some that are loss leaders. I can't count on it. If you're not open to constructive criticism, this won't work. You have to be open to having people that are close to you. Now, you can't listen to all the critics. You can't listen to all the naysayers constantly picking at you, but you have to have those trusted people who are going to tell you the truth. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Having respectful disagreements and listening to things that don't maybe match up to your thoughts is part of a healthy community. Bingo. Your average ticket is, oh, thank you. Yes, bingo. Your average. It was just the comma. The comma made all the difference there. So, and you have to be willing to change. So Josie makes a good point, but then you can listen to them, but you have to be open to change if that's the best route to go. So, but the commitment side, plan it, schedule around it. So many people, I'm going to get to this in consistency. And I talked about this last night on the show. How many people have heard this on Whatnot? Have a few shows scheduled. You can always move them. You can always reschedule them. Make sure you have some shows scheduled for people to bookmark. You can always reschedule those shows. How many of you have heard this? Throw an emoji, a yes, a whatever in the chat if you have heard people say almost those exact words over and over and over again. I want to throw my phone every time I hear it. There are people that I absolutely have the utmost of respect for on this app that say it. And I'm like, don't say that every time with the phone. Too much change can also be bad though. Absolutely. Forgotten memories, slow and steady, and don't rush into change. You need to give stuff a chance to see if it works before you change it. From a buyer's perspective, that's one sure way I stop. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. And Ginger's like, yep, I'm not listening to that. It's going to hurt people. And this is why I hate it so much. It's not the people saying it, because again, people that I highly respect say this. We just have a very different opinion on this topic. Was told it was okay to change a date on shows and didn't hurt you. Reclaim Vintage, it hurts you. It hurts you. It may not hurt you from a Whatnot perspective. Whatnot may not care. From a buyer perspective, Eve Jackpiece, I'm gonna explain it right now. It does hurt you. I just want to know how many people here would agree. You get somebody, you can lose your pre-bids. That's one. If you do, 48 hours, I think if you schedule past 48 hours, you lose your pre-bids. That's one aspect. But there's a bigger aspect. It is your trust. Rescheduling shows breaks trust with your buyers. Trust is the key to this business right here. Trust is the key to any business. There you go, Sean. I feel my time is as valuable as a seller's. You need to be reliable. So think about this. If you have somebody you like, you bookmark their show, Tuesday night at 7. 6:50 comes around Tuesday night, and you're like, oh yeah, hey, that show is on. Or you go and looked in your saved. You can go to your save tab and see what shows you bookmark because you want to watch them. And you're like, oh, okay, that's going to come on at 7. I think I'm going to wrap up and get a cup of coffee or a cup of wine or a glass of wine and sit and watch the show. 7 comes on, you're there, you're waiting. They don't show up. 5 minutes later, you're like, life happens. They may be a minute or two late. They don't show up. Next thing you know, the show's rescheduled. There you go too. People are buying buying a version of you, not just your stuff. They want you. You can't be, if you're not showing up, they're not getting what they want. So the first time you do that, they may offer you grace. I'd offer you grace if you did it the first time. Okay, I understand. You do it again, you've lost me. I'm going to be very hard pressed. You better really, really, really be awesome for me to stick around a third time. I'm not bookmarking and following you after that. And if I happen to catch you, I catch you. And if I don't, too bad, so sad. That sounds harsh, but that's the reality of it. If I can't, as a buyer, trust you to show up when you say you're going to show up, I didn't schedule your show. I didn't pick the time and day. You did. If you can't be there, how do I know that you're telling me the truth when you describe an item, that you're going to ship appropriately? Thank you, my love. That you're going to ship right, that you're going to ship on time. How do I know that you're going to follow the rules in your word on anything else? I don't. Lori says, I love the pod, but disagree with your continuous focus on dollar starts. I don't expect a dollar starts in shows, and it does not deter me from shopping. Great point, Lori. We could talk about dollar starts. Let me just write it down here. Let me just read the other question. House of Duke said, or the Glass Gurney, buyers will find another seller and get comfortable. They will in a heartbeat. There are 50 to 100 other choices in your same category at any given moment on any time, any day. Maybe 2:00 in the morning might be a bit different, but there's always other people, other choices. And it's not hard. It's a flick of your thumb to find somebody else. I bookmark dozens of shows a day. I have no memory of the schedule. It does not matter to me if they cancel or reschedule. It possibly doesn't, but there are the ones that you do want to see that it will matter. It ultimately breaks trust with your buyers. Think about a store that you go to. I had this happen to me with a Moe's. Moe's said they opened, it was like at 11 o'clock. I was at a cheer comp. I was waiting right till 11 to go across the street from the arena to go get our lunch. We show up at 11. By 11:10, there's a big old line waiting for people to open the door at Moe's. By 11:30, I'm like, heck with this, I'm out. And I went across the street to the sub shop, got something completely different. And I haven't been back to that store ever again. So it matters. It matters. Is it going to matter at the House of Duke? There are going to be some people who can care less. They're just going to watch whatever's on. There's a lot of people who want you to be on when you're on. It's a matter of your word. So what if I go on earlier, but I'm still on at that time? Then that's fine if you go on a little bit earlier, if you're there when you said you're going to be there. The other side of that too, that I feel very passionate about, and you know what, and it's okay if you guys disagree. If you're like, nah, I'm going to keep rescheduling, do it my way. That's okay. I would love to see 2 brand new sellers, and I would love to do an experiment. This will never happen because I'm not going to find 2 people to do this. To start at the same time and one have an anchor show, same day, same time for a year, and the other go on whenever they feel like it. I would bet you a huge amount of money that the one who's consistent is going to be the one that's more successful at the end of that year. It's been proven time and time and time again. Whatnot backs up consistency. Every single seller is going to talk to you about consistency. So, is that the penalty? I wish you had a variety of pricing. Okay. So let's talk about, Lori raised a good point. We have a lot of conversation going, so let's talk about it. Is the dollar start. So Lori says, love the podcast, but I disagree with your continuous focus on dollar starts. I don't expect a dollar starts in shows, and it does not deter me from shopping. And I agree with you in the sense that it does not have to be a dollar start. Us in the podcast, we are dollar start people. We choose to offer dollar starts. However, none of us are going to tell you that you have to do dollar starts or dollar starts is the only way. What we do agree on and what will help you keep people, so this is the other side, how do you get them, how do you keep them, is having a consistent price. The lower, the better, okay? Untrue things about our country. I couldn't help but dispute what they were saying. How can they make money? Hold on. I ran into a seller that had 500 people in the room, but they were the most arrogant, ignorant, and irritating person I've seen in a while. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, that's the experience. You're buying. That's what his and her Chicago shop said earlier. It's not just a product. You're buying that experience too. And if you have a bad experience, I don't understand how 500 people can stay for that. Maybe that's the experience that they like. I don't know. What if, hubby of Kimberly, random treasures. What if your work schedule changes and have to change your days and time? Hubby of Kimberly, I'm going to address that because I think there are very few and far between instances that applies for. So let me just write schedule change down, but I want to go back to the dollar thing to answer Lori's question first. So while we all recommend dollars, it doesn't have to be dollars. What we all agree on is a single price across the board. The lower, the better. If that to you means $3, make it $3. If it means $5, make it $5. If it means $10, make it $10. Here's the concept behind it. You're removing the barriers to buying. When you go into a shop and the prices are all over the board, you don't know what price is coming up next, particularly when they're doing random pulls. And it's $5, $3, $20, $18. it is confusing to a buyer. It has uneasiness in the buyer. And this is the kind of like the psychological point behind it. The buyer is not sitting there with their phone going, damn, this is confusing. Whoa, wow, what's going on? No, they're not doing that. But the anxiety that it produces, the uneasy feeling that it produces, we want to make it as easy for our buyers. We want them to know, hey, I've got this much of a budget. They're doing $5 starts. I can afford 4 things. The lower the price, the quicker somebody is to bid, creates that phantom ownership concept where then they continue to bid on it. It's removing the barriers to buying. He's writing me notes over here. What does he say? It is also a huge difference. Part of all the prices all over the board is applying some of that static mindset to an auction mentality, to an auction format. It doesn't work. But I have a curated show, which I know is continuous conversation as well. And now this is where I say, because I'm not going to tell anybody there's only one way to do this. I think this is the best way. I highly recommend it. And I've seen it be successful time and time and time again. If you want to do different prices, you absolutely should be pre-listing. Why pre-listing in that case? Because then it gives the buyers time to ease into it. They can go through a list and they're looking at item by item and easing into prices. It breaks that shock up a little bit when it is in a pre-listed versus a random poll format. I honestly think it depends on several factors. Dollar starts is one of the variables to test for you and yourself. And again, because we prefer dollar starts doesn't mean that that's what we recommend for everybody across the board. There is not one of us in that podcast that tells you should do dollar starts and do it all the time, and especially right out of the gate. We think it's a goal. We think it's a great thing, but we all will agree a low, consistent start. As a buyer, I prefer things to be preloaded. As a buyer, I prefer things to be preloaded. I don't want to hang out 2 hours to see what the seller has. And there's pros and cons. I've been working with both. I have just now switched over to random starts. I am new and have to reschedule or cancel due to changes in plans with my husband, job, and our grandbaby. I try very hard to stay consistent. So let's talk about this. Since we talked about, I'm going to do one more word about the low starts. And I've done this example a million times. If I have 100 people, at least mine says 100 right now. If I'm going to run something at $1, which I'm about to do, all 100 of you, let's do this right now. Let's find something really cool. Let's do this really cool item for $1. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna take this as an example. Okay. So we have this awesome piece of glass. Let's see if he can zoom out and get the whole thing in here. This is an amazing piece of glass. Okay. We have the Indian up here. I'm sure I'm not trying to do anything that is not PC. Native American up here. On the lid, is it called the West Ho something glass? I don't remember the name of it. I didn't research it. Reclaimed. I'll get to your question. Thank you. If I don't answer it right away, just remind me in a second. And then you have the gorgeous kind of a Western scene with the buffalo and the deer going all the way around this. It is a compote. It is in wonderful condition. No chips or cracks on this thing. It is a stunning, gorgeous piece of glass, beautiful to look at. Let's do 10 inches tall, but let's also take a look at it over here. I want to show you what this one does. If I don't drop it, let's see. That one has the prettiest, softest green glow to it. If we'll switch it, there you go. Look at that. That whole base glows right there. And when it glows, it pops out that detail. Look at that deer right there. Pops that detail out. We're going to go ahead and run this. I do not know why he cannot focus my cameras today. There you go. Just leave it like that. Let's run it. $1 start, free shipping, and that is running right now. $1 start, free shipping. Thank you so much for your bids. Lulu, we're going to talk about that right now as soon as this runs. And Rustic Relics, thank you so much. That one's heading to you. Let me throw a sticker on there. Okay, now let's talk about dollar starts, using that as an example. Be honest. Whether you wanted that piece of glass or not, how many of you right now would take a risk on a dollar start free shipping item? How much of a barrier is that? There's not a lot of risk to you guys, right? We have one no in there. Most people are yeses. Okay, we have 2 no's. The lower your prices are, the wider your net is. At a dollar start free shipping, and I am not advocating free shipping for you guys, I'm just talking about right now in this situation, okay? You have this many people who have a good chance of having it. So let's say out of 100, maybe 95 people would be like, I might even consider that, even if I don't want it. There's no risk there. I can resell it. I can give it as a gift, whatever it may be. The minute that price goes up to even $5, that group of people shrinks. The higher the price, your group of people gets smaller and smaller and smaller and far more selective. When you're doing a live auction, do you want just a little people who have the means and the desire, or do you want a lot of people that have the means and the desire? The easier you make it, the brighter, the wider your net is cast, the better the odds are for you as a seller, the more interest it's going to get. What then also happens on Whatnot? The more bidding that's happening, that's activity. Whatnot tells us activity moves you up in the algorithm. It's a win-win on both sides of the equation. So if that, for all of you who said yes, that you would consider that for $1, how many of you would consider that for $20? I'm sure we're going to get far less yeses in the chat than we did for $1. A ton of no's. There is a big difference on the psychology on when somebody will bid on something. Now, I don't say this in the effort of, if you have nice stuff, completely discount your nice stuff. There are people on here who sell high-end glass or jewelry. It still doesn't negate the fact that a consistent, even price, as low as you possibly can go, works the best. The result, the result is, are you talking about between 20 and 1? Completely different. We had far more no's when we said, would you consider it for 20? All right, let's go back up. I missed some questions. Let's see here. I don't even like glass and I wanted to swipe. Thank you, Marjorie. Okay, let's see if I'm missing any questions up here. I just came into the chat. Let's see, trying to get back to where I left off. Right here. Okay. Reclaim Vintage. How many items do you suggest pre-listing in a shop for a sale? So if you want the true psychological thing, Green 13 was talking about this, and he says 7 to 10, because after that you start to get choice fatigue. I understand the psychology behind that. I don't disagree on most points. But in all actuality, if you are a person who's going to pre-list, I would suggest a reasonable amount of no more than around 50 or 60. I look at it like this. When you go into somebody's bin, how many times do you do this before you're like, okay, that's enough? How many times do you swipe? And how many, 5 to 8 items, depending on your phone settings per swipe? How many swipes can it take till you get bored? Think about that for your buyers. Junebug, that is my husband. We run off 7 different cameras, so he controls it all through a whole computer setup he has. Lulu, I just came into the chat. You may have already talked about this. How many followers with not many followers, should you do lower starts? You should do as low as you can stomach, as low as you feel that you can tolerate that risk level. That's my advice. Now, is it necessary? No, you do what makes you comfortable. But if $10 is as low as you can stomach, that's what I would suggest. As low as you can go. I read that. Thank you, Marjorie. June, message my husband. Honey, can you put your name in there? He'll tag himself in there. Message him, talk to him. I don't know how to work my remote control, let alone talk to you about cameras. Besides, this is what we have. But he is always happy to talk with people about that, do recommendations, do one-on-ones. And there's no charge. He'll just, it's just talking to people. Completely new to Whatnot, trying to learn the ropes. How do you allow yourself to have free shipping and still make a profit? New England and country, that is a wonderful question. And it's part of why I'm doing free shipping on Tuesdays, is to be able to talk about it and I guess educate in a way, but mainly just to talk about it because a lot of people have that exact same question. So I used to do free shipping. I did it for about 6 months on vintage decor. went away from it. And now I'm going back to doing it on Tuesdays. I'm going out of town, won't be here tomorrow, so I'm doing it today. Anyways, last week I did free shipping and I compared it to the week before on Tuesday where I didn't do free shipping. I had an increase of revenue by 51%, a 51% increase in revenue. My shipping cost me about 30%. So about 30% of my gross revenue went to shipping cost. So I'll be very transparent. It is not cheap. You do pay for it. Again, no, sorry, it was exactly 28%. 28% was my shipping cost. But I had an increase of revenue by 51. We're talking about the psychological aspect of removing the barriers to buying, making it as easy as possible for people to buy in a show. If there is no shipping, that is a huge barrier gone from anybody who wants to buy here. They're like, I can spend $1, get a chance at something. I don't have to pay shipping. That's not a lot of money. That's not very risky to me. It makes it easier for people to buy. The easier it is for somebody to buy, the more they're going to buy. Also, would I rather have my buyers spending $9 on shipping or taking that $9 if their budget is, say, $100? If their budget is $100 and $9 of it goes to shipping, that means their budget is $91 for me. Or would I rather take that extra $9 and apply it to them spending it with me? Absolutely them spending it with me. I have done free shipping enough to prove that time and time again, my sales increase because of the free shipping, and it offsets it. In addition, I don't really do giveaways. I've been reducing the amount. I only do them in chat shows. They're PWE giveaways. So thank you, my love. The money that I spend on other things, instead of spending it on giveaways, on putting things in boxes, that money is funneled into covering my free shipping. So I'm using marketing funds in a different manner. Hopefully that helps. And I know I missed a lot of questions, so I'm going to try to catch up on those right now. So I'm focused on the yellow question. So if I missed it, please put it back in yellow. If you only have 15 people in your show and you have high-end items, do you still recommend dollar starts? I would recommend maybe not the whole show, but test out dollar starts. I never would say, go do a whole dollar start show. I would never tell you to do that. What I would say, test out a dollar start here and there. Feel your room out. And then you work up to it from there. When you get a raid, instead of running a giveaway, try having an item that you have reserved, an item of some decent value, of something pretty good that you've reserved for a raid and you run it for $1. See how it works out. If you're having a killer show, bids, the chat's popping, bids are flying, maybe say, hey, everybody, we're having a great time. Let's run an item for $1. Try it intermittently, get the feel for it, see if you like it, see how the room responds. Build from there. I never would say jump in and do a whole show of dollar starts. I don't think that's a smart approach. The reclaim vintage, I agree. I try about 25, 30. So see, it's just that when do you get bored? When about you get bored is when they're going to get bored. Thank you. There's more excuse me, you guys. There's more packing paper. It just came in the mail. Oh, my daughter is here to scan all of our packages from yesterday so we can take them to the post office. I think it was him I messaged. Someone had tagged somebody for possibly. It could have been. But message him again, June. He'll talk to you. Please don't do free ship. There you go. I love discounts. Thank you so much for bringing that up because that is a huge point that I was not talking about. I will never tell anybody you should go do free shipping. Will I strongly encourage reduced shipping? 100% I will encourage reduced shipping. Yes, all the packages out there. Even the ones by the stairs. I strongly encourage reduced. Now, even that with reduced, do not do it in your first couple of shows. You need to understand your business. You need to understand your financials. You need to get some data, have some shows under your belt that you can look at and say, okay, this is how much my buyer spent in shipping. If I were to do $9.21, this is about what I would pay. How is that going to look for me? You need to understand your financial data well before you ever even try any type of a lower price shipping. Never go into it blindly. Nobody does dollar starts hoping it ends at $1. Exactly. Solid value over psychological trick is more genuine approach. Okay, so I don't feel it's a psychological trick. It is proven behaviors. It's not a psychological trick. Psychology is what explains behaviors. It is proven behaviors. And I have done full price shows. I did it my whole first year. I had varying prices. Everything I've talked about, I've tried. I'm not going to sit here and talk about something if I have never experienced it. There is only one thing that I haven't experienced, and I'm actually thinking about doing it, and that's a live shopping show. And that's a whole nother story. But I used to do reverse auctions. And I actually compared a reverse auction where I did varying starting prices to a bougie for a buck show where I had the same high quality, high end items. And did it at higher prices and I did everything at $1. They performed, the dollar one performed better than my high priced ones. And I'm not getting on you. I don't like the term psychological trick manipulation because that's not what it is. It's understanding the psychological how the psychology, how it works, and the behaviors. Everybody has them, whether we want to admit to it or not. We all have natural innate behaviors when it comes to selling, when it comes to buying, and other things that we do. Understanding those behaviors and applying the thought processes behind those behaviors is not a trick. It's not manipulation. It's being smart. It's understanding how that works. If a dollar seller is hoping for two buyers needing that dopamine hit over an educated buyer making an informed decision. And if his and her Chicago shop, I know you sell very high-end glass, gorgeous, beautiful stuff. I've been in your shows and I've seen it. I have nothing. If somebody wants to do higher prices and do their thing, go for it. I don't have a problem with that. But I do know that you can make a good, sustainable, healthy business on dollar or low starts. I'm doing it. Green 13 does it. I Love Discounts does it. Many other people do it. If you look at in the vintage category, the successful people, what's one thing they all have in common? Or not even successful, because success is very subjective to each individual person. But the most popular people in vintage, they all do dollar starts. Or at least the majority of them do. Upcycle by Brie, House of Coop, Hodgepodge Place, dollar starts. Love Pink Books. Congratulations, you got that giveaway.
Congratulations.
Let's see. Okay, I know I've missed some questions. I know part of it, and if I missed it, we got a raid. CG Boomerang Echo. Thank you so much for bringing your people over.
Welcome in, Raiders. Glad you can join us on this business and tax discussion.
Why am I hearing that? That was weird. I was hearing it, and normally I don't hear it. Y'all, thank you so much for coming over. CG, thank you for bringing your people over. My name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We're doing a chat and sell, but we're doing a lot more chatting than we are selling, but that's okay. We are talking about how to get people in your room, how to keep them. Right now, we're just getting off a dollar start, kind of low start spiel. We're going to start talking about some other stuff. CG, please put in who you are, what you do. What is the next show that you want everybody to come and see? What is the next thing that they should be bookmarking for you? You guys, if you don't know CG, where have you been on this app? She is the queen of raid trains. She does a raid train show. She talks to Ghost in her house, which is totally cool. And she does a cool show about how to run raid trains, not how to run them, but everything about the etiquette about raid trains. Y'all, you need to go. There it is right there. Go bookmark her. Tonight is her talking to the ghost. She legit lives in an old church that has ghosts. And she does a whole show where they pick cards and they talk to you and give you advice. No, it's one of those shows you don't want to miss. Okay, let me go back. If I missed your question, I'm sorry. My husband put slow mode on. But let me go back and see work schedules. Let's talk about work schedules. So we were talking before we got on the low start, dollar start, low start kick. We were talking about same day, same time, once a week. I always get the question whenever I start talking about that, people say, well, I have a varying work schedule. I never know. I get my schedules on Friday for the next week. Just about any job. There are a few professions that I think this doesn't apply to. Law enforcement, nursing, military. If you're one of those, you probably have this is a lot harder than for you. However, almost every other profession, you have work hours. You know when you work. Additionally, almost every other profession has some time where you can say, I cannot work on Sunday mornings between 8 and noon. I cannot work on Mondays. Bougie, thank you so much. I do keep viewers. How do we keep viewers? We're going to talk about keeping viewers. Stay tuned. We're getting there. Almost every other profession, you have a chance to say, hey, during this time, I cannot work. And it may not be days at a time, but you have the right to say, and we do it already. I guarantee most of you who say, well, my schedule changes, have said, I have daycare issues. I can only work during these hours because I have daycare, childcare issues. I have this or that. There is some sense of control of hours that you have off. If that's the only time that you can get off, schedule your show for that day and time. Just about every single one of us has at least 1 to 2 hours during our week that we can make it work, regardless of our work schedules. Now, I fully know that there are certain people that are on call, like again, nurses, law enforcement, military, that probably have a far harder time with that. And those are the professions I'm kind of like, I'm going to give you a lot more grace in my thinking with that, because there are those very few. But by far, the majority of us out there can find a day or time. You sleep, you eat, you have time to do those things, you can find an hour or two. Do you have time to shop? Do you have time to have fun? You can't tell me that you have a job that you can never sleep, eat, have fun, go shopping, do anything else that you want. If you can do those other things, you can find time, even if it's a small amount of time. Is it going to limit you? Can you do 5-6 hour shows? Maybe not. Maybe that's not the season of the business that you're in. But can you get an hour or two? Yep. If you really tried, you could. How bad? Let's go back to commitment. I said success relies on 4 things: getting people and keeping them. Commitment, consistency, discipline, and integrity. Okay. All of that comes from within you. What's your commitment? How committed to this are you? If you are one of those people that are like, I'm super committed to this, I'm going to do this once a week. And then it's like, oh no, I'm busy. Oh, my schedule doesn't do it. Are you really that committed? This takes commitment. This isn't a walk in the park. Reselling is not, good morning, Tober, an easy thing to do. So you've got to find that time and day that works for you and stick to it. And I know that's harsh, but I say it how it is. Okay, how do we keep people in a room? So we talk about consistency. Consistency is that C word. Everybody says it. It means more. And I Love Discounts pointed this out last night, something we've always talked about. It means more than just the day and time of your show, being there time and time again. It means far more than that. It is consistency in your processes, your systems, and how you're running your show flow. Do you want to go to a grocery store? There's Miss CG right there. Took him a minute, but he finally got it up there from the raid. Thank you so much. Preloaded or random, we got that to talk about too. If you guys want to answer preloaded or random, please put it in there. Put what you prefer, because we got a question from Junebug, so I would love to hear what you guys prefer. So I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, consistency, show flow. This means far more than just showing up. It is, how are you running your show? If you, every time you go, there it goes. It's coming back. My train of thought's coming back. We're getting back on track here. If you go to a grocery store and every time you went to that grocery store, it was a different layout. Every single time you had to go up and down looking for your Oreos or looking for the milk. Every single time. After about the 3rd or 4th time, you would get pretty darn tired of that. That's decision fatigue. It's mentally draining for you as a buyer, as a customer in that store. When you go to the grocery store, you know what you want. Some days you might do the Target and I need to wander and let the store speak to me thing. But a lot of times you go to a grocery store, you kind of know what you want. I need some dinner food. I need some fruit. And you go straight to it and you get it and you get out. Because it's comfortable. It's familiar. You know the rules of the game. The same thing comes to your show. When somebody comes in, and his and her Chicago shop pointed this out earlier, they're buying a part of you, which is your experience, what's going on. For when they come into your show, they don't want to be like, okay, what's going on? What's the price structure? What's the shipping structure? What's the host like? Can I talk today? Can I not talk today? What are the rules of this game? Because let's face it, every single person on Whatnot can play this game a little bit different, right? Some people say promote, some say don't, some say put comps, some say don't. There's different rules in every single show. And the more consistent you are in your show, the easier it is for people to come in and relax because they know the rules, because they're not changing time and time again. That's part of your show flow. That's part of the experience. The more consistent you are in the experience you're giving, the more at ease people become. We like the familiar. As humans, we're not big people on let's change everything up. We like familiarity. We like knowing what we're walking into. I liken it to A lot of times if you go into a party, you show up at somebody's house, they open the door and they're like, hey, Bob, thank you for coming. Thank you, my love. They're like, hey, Bob, thank you for coming. Or they open the door. I'm like, Bob, welcome in. We're grilling in the back. There's some beers in the fridge. We're playing some games over here. Where do you feel more comfortable when you know the rules and the layout and what's happening, right? Same thing with your shows. All right, let me go back and read comments. My husband's getting on me over here. He's giving me nasty notes. He's like, you're missing comments. So let's see. We had the comment, do people prefer preloaded or random? That looked like there was a good mix there. That was like a good, without counting it up, a good 50-50 approach there. Good morning, estate addicts. So there's a lot of back and forth on preload. Let me see. There's a comment here I want to read. His and Her Chicago shop says, I work in Forensic Mental Health Center full-time, and I have a private practice part-time and do at least, there you go. Private practice, full-time job, 2 shows a week. It's possible. I have a full-time job. I have a family, just as many other people here. It's not unique to me. I'm not special because I have a full-time job. A lot of you have them. It's doable. It's what is your commitment? You can do it. I pull random and pull from the shop if there is a request. I don't have a preference either way. I'm pre-listing or random. Let's talk about that. We're just kind of going from topic to topic here. I think it depends on your style. I think there's pros and cons. Here's the thing I say about all these decisions. Understand the pros and cons of each choice you're making, and then make a good business decision for you. I was doing all pre-listed. Did I like the pre-bids? Did it feel good before you start a show to know people were already interested in your items? 100% it did. I enjoyed having pre-bids. Did I see an uptick in some of my average order value when I went to pre-listing everything and really focused on, advertising it and telling people to go look at the pre-list, do pre-bids? I did. But then I've stopped and I've gone to random. And so far, it's only been about a week and a half. So I don't have a lot of data. I'm just going by really recent. I've maintained, if not increased, that average order value a tad bit from pre-listings. I think you could be successful either way. I do want to talk about the mental energy and the time it takes to pre-list. If you are just doing 1 show a week, pre-listing may work for you. If you're doing 5 shows a week, that may become an unrealistic expectation very, very quickly. Not only are you looking at the time of pre-listing, of taking the picture, of putting it in either CSV, which is a game changer, using CSV, using like a Vendoo app, or just typing it straight into Whatnot. Not only are you looking at that time, but then you have the time of managing all of those inventory listings after every single show. What do I clone? What do I keep? Did this one roll over the right way? Do I need to move this? Was this auction? Should it be buy it now? Or vice versa? Thank you, my love. So you have there's a lot of mental energy and a lot of time on your part to do that. Is it worth it for you? I can't answer that. You've got to answer that for yourself. But is that exchange of time, is doing the pre-listing making you enough more money versus doing random? It's hard to stay consistent when job schedules change from working days doing 8 hours to working weekends and night. I can understand that it's hard. Everything worth anything is hard in life. Is it doable? Yes, it's doable. It's doable. You got to find that time. Maybe that time for you may be at 4 a.m. in the morning. Guess what? There's people on Whatnot 24 hours a day. My husband, he's over here he's not throwing a fit. He's over here getting all antsy because I'm not selling stuff. Let me answer one more question. We're going to sell 2 items and then we're going to come back to talking. I'm a buyer, wannabe seller. I notice many people now not on camera, just a table with items. Janet, let's do this. Let's kind of do an experiment with that. I'm just going to show you an item here. Pretend you haven't seen me. Look at this gorgeous Avon. You guys, first of all, Avon is so not appreciated in the way it should be appreciated for its milk glass. We got to turn our lights down there. It's a little too bright. Now, this is what you're talking about. People just showing items versus showing their face. You're looking at an item. This is full and great. Do you get to know me? This is a social app. You're not seeing my face. You're just hearing a voice. It's not as personable. There's not as much connection here. Every now and then you need to turn that camera around so they can see you. Do you have to be on camera the whole time? No. But you can show your items. We can do this. We can talk about it. You can say, hey, check out the gore, how beautiful this is. You guys like hens on nest. This is a bird on nest. This is Avon. It is in wonderful condition. I love this dove that's on here. No flea bites. You can use it as a little candy dish, as a vanity thing. It is marked Avon there on the bottom. Milk glass, absolutely beautiful. We're going to go ahead and run this one. That is up and going. If you like some milk glass, I love the bird milk glass. This is 5 inches tall. Thank you for your bids. Reclaim Vintage, thank you so much. That one's going to you. We're not coming back to me. We're going to stay right there on the items. We're going to stay without focusing on the person here. We're going to take a look at another item. This is Ruby Red Sugar and Creamer. Look at how deep and gorgeous that is. These are in mint condition. There is nothing wrong with either one of these. You have an open sugar bowl. And of course, you've got your creamer. I love these for the holidays, but you can also dress these up for any time of the year. Those are running right now. Gorgeous ruby red glass, sugar and creamer. Thank you for your bids. And it is free shipping. If you're just coming in, we are doing free shipping today. Reclaim Vintage, thank you so much. Okay, now we're going to come back to me.
Thank you.
So you see how it looks when you're just showing items. It's wonderful. You get to see the item. There's nothing wrong with it. When you're selling stuff like jewelry, you're selling little items, you have to, we'll get to those in a minute. You have to have the camera facing the item, because if I'm trying to show you jewelry up here, it's not effective, right? But then coming back and you see the person, do you not feel, just watching as a buyer, more of a connection when you're seeing somebody's face? When you can see the expression, the body language, it builds trust. Being able to look at somebody's eyes and where they're looking, that's a trust measure. I don't mind not seeing them if it's a live unboxing. I love seeing them unwrap items. Otherwise, I like seeing people. See, there's a time and place for both. There's a time and place that you need to focus on the items, particularly if the smaller the items. Thank you so much for letting me know that. We did miss a raid. Ren found it. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing your people over.
Welcome in, Raiders! Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Ren found it. Please, please. I hope you had a wonderful show. Put in the chat who you are, what you sell, when you sell it, all those great details so people can follow you. And if you came over with Ren, I am so sorry that I didn't welcome you in right away. My name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We are doing a chat and sell. We did a little selling. That's why I was distracted. And now we're back to chatting. Please stay and hang out for a while. Okay. Thank you, Auntie Billy. I appreciate you. I like seeing the host. His and her Chicago. I'm not buying from Tracy's hands. I'm buying from Tracy 100%. Go and watch what people are doing. Not almost all. The people that at least I feel are doing a really great job, and particularly when you're talking about somebody selling minis or selling jewelry where the camera has to face the item, every now and then they flip it around, they make a connection with you, and then they go back to the selling. And it may just be at the beginning or the very end of the show, but it tells you you're buying from a real person, right? Not that we think they're fake back there, but it makes that connection. And it builds that trust, which is the base for our whole businesses. Everything we do here is trust. Think about this. Every buyer that comes in your room, they're trusting you to describe an item. They're trusting you to ship an item. They're trusting you to ship it properly. They're trusting you that you're going to do what's right if something is wrong with that item. It's all built on trust. The more you see my face and my eyes and we're making that connection, the more you're going to trust me. And then it goes to the integrity, that fourth pillar that I talk about. The more I do what I say I'm going to do and do it the right way, builds the integrity, which reinforces the trust. I know I probably missed some questions here. So if I have missed your question, please put it back in the chat. I'm trying to flip back up here. Let's see. Tabina? I am the mother of 4 and a nurse and have 3 scheduled shows a week. It's hard, but doable if this is what you want. 3 months. Thank you. There is so many examples of this. So many people are doing the hard things. They're disciplined. I go back to the 4 pillars, you guys. There are 4 cornerstones or 4 pillars that your whole whatnot business should be built on. Any business. And it is not, listen, I sell guides, I sell PDFs. I have a book that's coming out in a couple of months. There's a lot of other people that sell books. There's a lot of other people that are going to show you how much money they make and say, listen to my chat show. I'll tell you how to be successful. It's all bullshit. I'm just telling you, none of that is going to make you successful. Commitment, consistency, discipline, and integrity. All of that comes from within you and how you apply those things. That's what makes you successful. Now, all these other things that people are selling, they're tools, they're information, they're things to gather in order to make your business decisions to figure out how you want to do things. And that's me included. I'm not pulling myself out of that and saying, oh, theirs is bad and mine's great. That's not it at all. This is just information. You guys are talking about chains. I'm like, I couldn't even do jewelry. Bren, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Ramona, I have not seen your name for a while. Welcome in. It's so good to see you. All right. So we've talked about those 4 things. Consistency. The other thing in consistency, we talked about show flow that I want to mention is the language you use. We talk about this a lot. Words are super powerful. How many of you I want you to think of a seller. Think of somebody you like, somebody you vibe with, somebody you like watching. What's their catchphrase? You don't have to tag them. They don't have to come in the show, but what's their catchphrase? Throw the catchphrases that you know or that you think about over and over in the chat. Those phrases that when you're selling, it pops into your head. All the time I think of, looka, that's the Aaron sphere. He says, looka. When I hear that, that's who I think of. Put a sprig in it. Hey now. Great grab. Okay. These are consistent language that people use over and over, and you guys are remembering them, right? Good morning, Dragonfly. You guys, Dragonfly right there is going to be one of the speakers at the Pennsylvania meetup. If you want to click and check her out, she is an awesome vintage decor and jewelry seller. I use Dolly Friends. You sell Barbie. There you go. So think about those language. Who here immediately when Green 13 gets a raid, in your head you start doing, welcome in, Raider, you and you alone can put what you do and sell in the chat up to 3 times. And only the Raider can do this anytime within the next 3 minutes or something like that. Very close to it. And you start saying it along with him when he says it, right? Your language is important. Again, this builds that consistency. It builds that familiarity. It puts buyers at ease. It gives them a connection with you when they know you're going to say it and they're saying it right along. I can guarantee there's a handful of people that show up at my shows at the very beginning and they know exactly, and they're probably mouthing it or thinking in their heads, good morning, everybody. My name's Tracy. This is Always Treasures. My name's Tracy. As always, I'm here with my husband, Noel, because I say it over and over. There you go, right there, forgotten memories. Over and over and over. Yeah, he does say it really fast. It's hard to keep up with him. But it's like recognizing the Nike swoosh or, just do it, right? They're catchphrases. If these big companies are doing it and it works for them and they do it over and over, why would we not take some of that same concepts and apply it to what we're doing? The Hodgepodge has a line like that. Thrift Shop Cards, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you.
Welcome in, Raiders. Grab your hats and step into Zoe's Treasures, where the relics aren't cursed. They are for sale.
Thank you so much for the raid. Darren, I hope you had a wonderful show. I know who you are, but not everybody might. So please put in who you are, what you do, what you sell, and when is the next show that you want people to bookmark. And you guys, if you like what you see, please give him a follow. We're going to go ahead and run an item really quick. So, since we just got so many people in here, let's go ahead and we are going to do 2 sets of salt and pepper shakers. You don't just get one. You're going to get a double whammy here. 2 salt and peppers. 2 sets. So 4 altogether. We are doing Dollar Starts free shipping today. We have porcelain little birdie, salt and peppers, and we have some teddy bears running right now. Those are up and running. $1 free shipping. Thank you so much for your bids. I appreciate it. And for those of you who just came in, thank you so much, Resale Roost. I appreciate you. For those of you who just came in, my name's Tracy. This is Zoe's Treasures. We are doing a chat and sell. We just did a little selling. We're going to do a little more chatting now. We are talking about the 4 pillars of success on Whatnot. So 4 pillars of success on Whatnot, 4 pillars of success in any business that you do. And no, it is not some secret book. It is not some PDF. It is commitment, consistency, discipline, and integrity. Those are the things that are going to drive you. Oh, what am I clicking on my screen? So we were talking about consistency in language. Let's go to discipline. This is a big one that I think people miss all the time. Discipline. Show up happy, show up sad, show up early in the morning. When you don't feel like it, making hard decisions. Making those hard decisions, which means I can go and go sit on the beach and drink a margarita, or I can get my shipping done. The discipline is to do what you need to do for your business. Sometimes those are hard decisions to make. And we see this a lot. Part of that, the discipline, and these don't exist separately. They all intermingle with each other. Part of that discipline hinges on that commitment and that consistency. The discipline to be at that show when you say you're going to be at that show, right? The discipline not to reschedule the show because, Aunt Sue just invited you to go do something fun, but you have a show scheduled. It's hard. We get people that come and visit us frequently, and it's like, sorry, you guys, I got to stop what we're doing. I've got to show up for. I got to go back home and do my show. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I know I missed a couple of them. K Bougie says, I do much better financially and increase followers, buyers when I start being more consistent. People get used to you. That's right. 100%. Now, does consistency mean you can never, ever do a pop-up? No, not at all. We're talking about having a day and time. Lori says, she kicked us out to run. I didn't kick you out. I love discounts. Lori says, people are waiting on you. I often see how many times, and be honest, how many times do you go into a show before it starts and you see that waiting on host? You're just waiting for them to show up. How many times have you been there because you know that show's about to start? I do it frequently. All the time, yes. So this goes to, I start a show 5 minutes early. Love it. Love it. This goes to being there when you say you're going to be there. Here's the other thing I see on Whatnot all the time. All the time I see this. The show's scheduled for 9. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Maybe they show up at 9:15. If you work a 9 to 5 job and you start at 9, do you regularly show up late? Is that how you operate? Why are you not giving yourself, then the show disappears. Why aren't you giving yourself the same respect and commitment that you would give to somebody who's paying you? Because you're doing this for yourself, but you're going to do for somebody else's business, but not give yourself that same respect and same commitment? Just asking. All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about, you guys, before we head out? I am heading to Dallas in a couple of hours. I haven't packed yet. I need to go and pack. So is there anything else before we head out for the day? I for Beauty. What do I think about trading cards? And I know you asked that just because Darren came over, and Darren is the creator of the original trading cards. Here's my honest to God truth. And I will say this to Darren, and I will say this to anybody because it's not a bad point of view. My view on trading cards is, hey, they're cute, they're cool, they're fun. Do they fit my business strategy? No, they don't. Am I buying them? No, because they don't fit my business strategy. I think whatever you purchase, you should purchase because it fits in a strategy that you have designed for your business. Does that mean that I have anything against them? Not in the least little bit. I have some that I've won as giveaways. They're hanging up on a wall. I look at them every single day. So I have nothing against it. I just feel that they need to fit within your business strategy. Additionally, I have my own type of cards. I have CEO. We have CEO affirmation cards that we run as giveaways. I also put them in other things. We sell packs of those. I design those. They're my marketing. They have my logo on them. We also have rewards cards. Again, they're my marketing, my logo. So I don't have a need to buy other cards when I have my own. Shoppingham Square. Hopefully I said that right. If I change my name, will I get put? No, you can change your name at any time unless you have, you can change your name unless you have open orders. You cannot do it while you have, like, if you're shipping things out or things are coming to you, I believe. So you just have to wait till you have no orders in transit, and then you can change your name. Any other time you possibly have to email whatnot for that, but usually you just go into your settings and you're able to do that. What's my strategy? Buy low and sell high. My strategy is to make money, and I do that by reducing the barriers to buying and giving my buyers, reducing all of their barriers, and I have found that to be very successful to me. Yep, Auntie Billy, I did. I brought one up the other day that I saw. So with that, thank you so much, Forgotten Memories. We had a great time on the podcast. Y'all, don't miss the podcast. And don't miss the PA meetup. It is coming up October 3rd. Tickets are in the bin. They're always available on any one of my shows. I would suggest come to the free shipping shows. I do them on Fridays and Tuesdays so you don't have to pay shipping for your ticket. Best way to get them. They are $28, and I would love to have everybody there. You could go to my website to get more information on them. And y'all, you have a great week. I'm about to go jump on a plane, and we will be back on tonight at 5:50 for the second week of the CEO Showcase Challenge. With that, let's go see who's on to raid. Oh, we got it. There you go. The boss man is picking today. Thank you so much, you guys. We are going to somebody that has explicits turned on. I love her. I think she's funny as all get out. But if you have little kids in the car, this is your warning right now.